I never thought I'd see the day when my past would come knocking on the door of my sprawling ranch in the Montana Badlands. My name is Riley Hayes, and I'd built a life here in the wide open spaces of Big Sky Country, far from the dusty small-town roots that had once tried to bury me. That Sunday morning in early spring, the sun was pouring golden light over the rolling prairies, turning the distant Rockies into a postcard-perfect backdrop. I was in my kitchen, sipping black coffee from a mug I'd picked up at a local rodeo, reviewing the latest drilling reports from Horizon Energy, my oil and gas company that had turned me from a nobody into one of the richest women west of the Mississippi. The ranch was my fortress, 1,500 acres of prime land with state-of-the-art security, shoulder-powered gates, and cameras that could spot a coyote from a mile away. I'd earned every inch of it through sheer grit, starting with nothing but a beat-up pickup and a head full of ideas about sustainable energy extraction. No staff on weekends. I liked the solitude. So when the gate buzzer rang, it jolted me like a cattle prod. I padded over to the security panel in my bare feet, the reclaimed wood floors cool underfoot. The screen lit up, and there they were. My heart skipped a beat, but not in a good way. Dad, Jack Hayes, stood there with his weathered Stetson tipped back, his once dark hair now fully silver. Mom, Evelyn, clutched a worn leather purse like it was her last lifeline. My brother, Travis, broader than ever but carrying extra weight around the middle from years of easy living. My sister, Brooke, with her perfectly highlighted hair and that same judgmental squint. And two kids I didn't know, Travis's, I figured, shifting awkwardly in hoodies and jeans, looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. 22 years. That's how long it had been since they'd written me off like a bad investment. No calls, no cards, no nothing. And now, here they were, uninvited guests at the empire I'd built without them. The intercom crackled. Riley, it's us. We need to talk. Dad's voice was gravelly, aged by time and probably too many smokes. Mom leaned in. Please, honey. It's family business. Family. The word hit like a gut punch. Family doesn't kick you to the curb when you're barely out of your teens. Family doesn't pretend you never existed just because you weren't bloodborne. I could have ignored them, let the Montana wind blow them back to whatever hole they'd crawled from. Or called the sheriff. Trespassing on private land is no joke out here. But curiosity got the better of me. Why now? My success hadn't been a secret. The Wall Street Journal had profiled me last year, calling me the queen of clean energy for my fracking tech that minimized environmental damage. I hit the button. Stay put. I didn't open the gate yet. Instead, I threw on my favorite Wrangler jeans, a soft flannel shirt, and my custom Lucchese boots, the kind that cost more than most folks' monthly rent. Armor. That's what it was. Then I grabbed my phone and started recording. Whatever this was, I wanted it on record. Legal and clear. The walk to the gate took a couple of minutes across the gravel drive, past the horse stables and the wind turbines spinning lazily in the breeze. Up close, through the wrought iron bars etched with longhorn motifs, they looked smaller, more worn down by life. Desperate. That's the word. Riley, Dad said, trying for a smile that didn't reach his eyes. You've done real well for yourself. I didn't bite. What brings you all the way out here? They glanced at each other. That silent family code I'd always been left out of. Brooke stepped up. We need help. The family's in a bind. Not, we miss you, or we're sorry. Just help. Like I was an ATM they'd suddenly remembered the PIN for. I felt a cold smile creep across my face. Come on in. Then. This oughta be good. I punched in the code, and the gate hummed open. As they filed in, I watched my history invade my hard-won peace, clueless about the reckoning ahead. Leading them to the great room with its vaulted ceilings and massive stone fireplace. I saw their eyes widen at the antler chandelier, the Navajo rugs, the floor-to-ceiling windows framing the endless prairie. But my mind was back in our old clapboard house in rural Wyoming, where I'd grown up feeling like a square peg in a round hole. The family photos always told the story. Travis in his football gear, Brooke in her cheer uniform, me off to the side like an afterthought. "Nice spread," Mom murmured, perching on the edge of the leather sectional like she might soil it. I poured water, no coffee for them. "I'm sure you didn't drive from Wyoming to compliment my taste in decor." Travis cleared his throat. "Heard about your company. That energy outfit. Sounds like it's booming." Booming. Horizon Energy. A $1.2 billion operation revolutionizing oil fields with eco-friendly tech. Reduced to that energy outfit. Just like my straight-A report cards had been fine, while Travis's touchdowns earned steak dinners and Brooke's pageants got parades. "You were always tinkering with gadgets," Brooke added. Like she'd ever paid attention beyond borrowing my notes. I nearly laughed. Tinker? I taught myself mechanics from old manuals in the school library because it was the one place no one compared me to them. "Let me jog your memory," I said, leaning back. "Remember my 13th birthday?" Blank looks. "Of course. November 15th, 2000. You all forgot." Travis had a game. Brooke a recital. You two at the county fair fundraiser. I spent it alone in the barn, fixing an old tractor engine because at least machines don't forget you exist. Mom fidgeted. "That was ages ago. Riley. Or junior year. My science fair project, a prototype for water-efficient irrigation. Teachers said it could change farming out here." I ran home excited. But Travis had just made varsity. We celebrated with his favorite barbecue. My project ended up rusting in the shed. "You're exaggerating," Dad grumbled. His go-to for anything emotional. "Am I?" Brooke's Sweet 16, big bash at the community hall. Live band. That used pickup with the bow.
Mina?
A dollar store card.
Late.
Signed the Hayes family like you couldn't be bothered. The kids, my niece and nephew, looked uncomfortable, exchanging glances.
Good.
At least someone had a conscience. "But Grandma Louise," I continued, my voice softening. "She saw me. Every little win. She celebrated. 'You're gold, Riley,' she'd say. 'Don't let em dull your shine.'" I twisted the emerald ring on my finger, her heirloom, meant for the eldest daughter, but given to me because families who sticks by you, blood or not. "That ring's a family piece," Brooke said, eyeing it. Funny how I wasn't family then. I remembered Grandma's frail hands slipping it on mine. She'd left me the truth in her will. Too, that I was adopted, taken in at her insistence after my birth mom. Her ranch hand died young. The room went quiet. Travis's boy, about 15, piped up. "Dad said you left us." I shot Travis a look. He avoided my eyes. "Is that the tale? That I chose this isolation?" The air thickened with unspoken truths. They'd come for a reason. But first, they'd face what they'd sown. The silence in the great room stretched like a taut fence wire, ready to snap. I stood and walked to the window, staring out at the herd of cattle grazing under the vast Montana sky. "You want to talk choices? Let's go back to the day I left." The memory was sharp as a barbed wire cut, the day after Grandma Louise's funeral. Rain pounding the Wyoming dirt like accusations. The lawyer's office smelled of old books and regret as he read her will. She'd left me $50,000, not a fortune. but a lifeline for a kid fresh out of community college. More than that, a letter explaining everything, how she'd pushed my parents to adopt me, how my bio mom had no one else, how she'd hoped love would grow. Mom was always soft-hearted, Evelyn said softly. Soft-hearted? She was the only heart in that house. I turned, my voice steady. I came home shaking, needing answers.
Dad.
You remember what you said? He shifted, silent. Now you know. We did our duty for 18 years. Be thankful we didn't turn you out sooner. The kids gasped. My niece, around 17, whispered, Grandpa wouldn't.
He did.
And Mom added, Louise is gone. You're grown. Time to stand on your own 2 feet. I chuckled bitterly. Meaning, hit the road. You've been waiting for Grandma to pass, so you could wash your hands of me without her side eye. That's not fair, Evelyn protested. Then explain the rest. I packed my duffel, didn't have much since you'd turned my room into storage for Brooke's rodeo gear. At the door, I asked if I could come back for Thanksgiving. Travis. You snorted and said, Why bother? You're not real kin. Brooke nodded then.
2.
My parents? Stone silent. We were mourning, Dad tried. You were relieved. The burden was lifted. But I didn't quit easy. For 3 years. I sent cards.
Called on holidays.
Invited you to my tech certification ceremony. Want proof? I pulled up old texts on my phone. This from you? Dad. Riley. Best if you move on. We're focusing on Travis and Brooke's futures. Build yours elsewhere. The boy, let's call him Cody, stared at his dad. You said that. It was complicated, Travis muttered. Simple as pie. 2 blood kids. 1 charity case. Once legal ties snapped. So, did you? I pocketed the phone. After that message, in my crappy trailer in Billings, with the leaky roof and no heat, I broke down. Then I rose up. Changed my middle name from Evelyn to Louise, to honor the one who mattered. Brooke stood. Enough reminiscing. We need money, I finished. Only reason you'd show. But you'll hear it all first. I've carried this load solo for decades. If you want a dime, you'll shoulder some weight. I led them to my study. Walls lined with maps of oil fields and framed patents. From a locked drawer, I pulled 3 leather-bound albums, my evidence binders, as my therapist called them. Legally sound, all public records and screenshots. Nothing hacked or shady.
Seat.
We're doing this. The first album, Family Moments Without Me. Holidays at the old ranch. Barbecues. Ski trips to Jackson Hole. See this? Christmas 2005. All in flannel by the fire.
No me.
Next page. An email from Travis. Don't invite Riley to Easter. Parents don't want the awkwardness. How'd you get that? Brooke demanded. Aunt June forwarded it. Thought I deserved to know why I was ghosted from my own grandma's memorial. The second album, My Grind. Clippings of my early jobs, rig hand in the Bakken fields, night shifts coding pipeline software. While you funded Travis's business degree, I bootstrapped mine with double shifts. While Brooke planned her wedding, the one in the local paper, I debugged algorithms on a second-hand laptop. Investor ejections noted. Solid tech. But Lone Wolf founder raises red flags. No family net. Your cutoff cost me deals. Had to prove twice over I wasn't fragile. The kids flipped pages. Horrified. My niece, Sarah, teared up. This is awful. The third, unsent letters. What I wished I could say. Promotion day. Alone. Hospital stay for dehydration after a bad well blowout. No emergency contact, but my boss. One page. My 30th birthday wish for just one we're proud from you. Evelyn sobbed. We didn't realize.
You did.
You changed the locks post-funeral. Return mail. Told Ken I was estranged by choice. I played a saved voicemail from Dad. 5 years back. Riley, heard about Mom's fall. But we've got Travis and Brooke here. Don't call again. 2 kids, I echoed. You had 3. Cody stood. This is messed up. You lied to us. Sarah nodded. She had nobody. And you ditched her because. Adopted? I closed the albums. Not revenge. Education. You think you can waltz in for cash like I'm obligated? Understand. You shattered me, but I rebuilt stronger. Therapy undid your damage.
Now.
Spill. What mess made me family again? They spilled it all. The words tumbling out like a flash flood in the arroyos. Dad's construction firm, Hayes Builders, was tanking. Bad bids on resort developments in Jackson. Lawsuits over shoddy work. Debts piling up like snowdrifts. They'd mortgaged the old Wyoming ranch. Borrowed against the kids' college funds, illegally dipping into Grandma's trust. Turns out. Needed $3 million to bail out. Or bankruptcy loomed, with the family home in foreclosure. We saw your profile in Forbes, Mom admitted. Thought. Maybe you'd help. For old times' sake. Old times. The ones where I was invisible? I listened. Stone-faced. As they painted their sob story. Travis's divorce had cleaned him out. Brooke's boutique failed in the pandemic. The kids needed stability. College looming. We're blood, Dad pleaded. Doesn't that count? Adopted blood, I corrected. And no, it didn't count when you erased me. But seeing the kids' wide eyes, something softened. Revenge felt hollow now. I'd already won by thriving. Still, justice mattered, legal, fair, with a path to redemption. I won't hand over $3 million, I said finally. Faces crumpled. But hear me out. I fetched legal papers from my safe, drawn up by my attorney. All above board. First, trusts for Cody and Sarah. $500,000 each. For education only. Managed by my financial guy, no access for you. Covers tuition.
Books.
Living through grad school if they want. Sarah's eyes lit. Why us? You're blameless. And education saved me. Community college. Online courses, it's power nobody can strip. Second, you're firm. Instead of letting it fold, I'll buy it out for $1 million. You sign over control. I restructure with my energy contacts, focus on sustainable builds.
Green housing.
You'll work for me. Salaries I set. Fair but not lavish. Benefits included. That'd kill our pride, Brooke whined. Pride's what got you here. This is a lifeline more than you gave me. Third, one catch. Public accountability. I've got a reporter from the Billings Gazette lined up. You tell the story, your side.
Meaning.
How adoption didn't make me less. How abandonment hurts. How success came despite it.
No sugar coating.
That'd tank our rep, Dad growled. What rep? The one hiding the truth. I paused. Or walk away. I'll invest in your competitors instead, speed their takeover. And that mortgage? I bought the note quietly 6 months back when payments lagged. 30 days to eviction if I call it. You what? Travis exploded. Legal as daylight. Banks sell debts all the time. This is payback, Brooke accused. Call a balance. But I'm offering mercy, jobs. Kids' futures. A fresh start. Own the past. Learn from it. Cody spoke. Take it. It's right. Turns out, They'd skimmed the trust, fraud territory. I could report it, I said. But won't if you agree. They huddled. Whispers heated. Finally, Dad nodded.
Deal.
I added one more. Therapy. Family sessions. Paid by me. Not optional. Part of employment. As they left. Papers signed. I felt lighter. Not vengeance, but growth. A light lesson. Families earned, not owed. Forgiveness starts with truth. Back alone. I saddled my horse and rode the trails. Wind whipping my hair. The Badlands stretched endless. A reminder of resilience. I turned pain into power. Abandonment into independence. And maybe, just maybe, they'd change too. The negotiation dragged, but I held firm. Dad tried bargaining. Make it $2 million.
No.
This teaches value, what you never taught me. Mom cried. We were wrong, but young. Wrong's wrong at any age. The kids mediated. Sarah sang. She's giving us a shot.
Take it.
By sunset. Signatures dried. As they drove off in their dusty SUV, I watched the taillights fade. A chapter closing, but not locked. The weeks blurred into a whirlwind of lawyers, audits, and awkward calls. The buyout went smooth. Hayes Builders became a Horizon subsidiary, shifting to eco-builds like solar ranches and water-smart homes. I hired pros to train them. Dad oversaw sites. Travis handled crews. Brooke managed community outreach. Salaries, $80,000 each, enough for comfort, not excess. No bonuses without results. The trusts funded, Cody-eyed engineering at Montana State, Sarah social work at Wyoming U. Thanks. Aunt Riley, she texted. Means everything. The article dropped. From cast-off to energy mogul, a Western family's reckoning. Quotes raw, Dad admitting. We failed her because she wasn't ours. Biggest regret. Mom. Adoptions family, we forgot that. It trended locally. Drawing sympathy for me.
Scrutiny for them.
Reps took hits. Old clients bailed, but new green ones signed on. Therapy started. Weekly Zoom with a counselor specializing in family estrangement. I joined a few sessions. Not for them, but closure. You built walls, the doc said. Time to bridge. Dad choked up once. Riley, we were fools. I nodded. Acknowledging the start. 6 months in. Things shifted. A letter arrived. Hand-delivered. Mom's script. Riley, we took the deal to survive. Therapy opened eyes. Saw the girl we ignored. Birthdays forgotten. Achievements overlooked. Your 13th. You beamed that morning. We crushed it.
We see now.
Not deserving forgiveness, but grateful for your grace. You're stronger than us. Louise would beam. This isn't just sorry, it's seeing your worth we missed. We were the lost ones. I framed it. A reminder people can grow. The foundation I launched, Louise Hayes Center for At-Risk Youth, helped 300 kids already. Scholarships, mentoring, ranches for displaced teens. Values inherent, I tell them, echoing grandma. Cody volunteers weekends, Sarah interns. Family dinners?
Tentative.
Once a month. They visit, no obligations. Just talk. Travis shares rig stories. Brooke asks business tips. Laughter creeps in. Guarded but real. Dad fixed my fence one visit. Least I can do. Mom baked pie. Your favorite. Remembered late. I'm not naive. Scars linger. But the lesson's light. Redemption's possible when truth leads.
Ever forgiven.
Not forgotten. Frees me to live. Added reflections on rides. Watching sunsets. Feeling peace in the prairies.
Knowing it shows mercy over spot.
Turning cycle breaking into legacy. 2 years on. The ranch hums with life. Horizons valued at $2 billion. Pioneering wind oil hybrids. The family's firm profits ethically, building affordable eco-homes for veterans. Dad's proud reports. Best work in years.
Travis quittait drinking, Brooke's boutique revivait online.
Therapy's ongoing. We've unpacked decades. A breakthrough. Group apology at Christmas. First together since forever. We love you. Riley, Mom said. Tears flowing. Always did. Badly shown. I hugged back. Love's actions. You're showing now. The kids thrive. Cody at MIT, transferred. Acing. Sarah at Northwestern. Advocating for adoptees. They call weekly. You're the aunt we needed. Foundations expanded. 500 helped. Stories mirroring mine, but ending better. My life's full. Rides at dawn. Board meetings. Quiet evenings with a good book. Grandma's ring gleams. Reminder of worth. The sweetest win? Thriving without bitterness. Families chosen. Blood optional. Lesson. Abandonment doesn't define. Response does. Build from ashes. Extend grace, it multiplies. My name's Riley Louise Hayes. Erased at 23. Reborn in the West's wilds. I turned rejection to rain. Offering redemption. In big sky's vastness. I found we're all worth seeing. Holidays now include me. Matching flannels. Laughter by the fire. Dad teaches Cody carpentry. Mom shares recipes. Peace settles like Montana snow, soft. Covering old wounds. Legacy. Not empire alone, but healing rippling out.